My name is Mudryk, and now I want to present you a topic: analysis technology of neurological movement considering cognitive feedback, influences of cerebral cortex signals. Authors are Petryk, Bachynskyi, Vitaly, Brevus, Mudryk, and Dmytro Mykhalyk. So first of all, let's introduce a research area. This is the automation of diagnostic disease tremor in step towards future medicine industry. The research area modeling methods are used to provide an approach to the design of digital diagnostic health systems for patients with neurological movements disease. It means tasks of creation of new software and hardware solutions for medicine to automate diagnostic systems to identify phenomena of body and human health in urgent tasks. So we try to solve a problem of comforted weaknesses of these tasks of performing. We try to take signal approach of problem, try to make a complexity of testing, subjective assessment easier, try to make lower cost of material and task performance, try to increase development application and better analysis of data, better accuracy, and different significant errors and mistakes we try to decrease. So, there are a lot of different methods of diagnostics. We use the first one using spiral drawing tests and encephalograms. So, in this slide you can see different tasks of performing tests for 3D motion recording. We use different hardware for this research, such as method of collecting movement data using graphic tablets. We use a vacuum one for the specification is added in paper lists. So the patient we can collect different data like pressure and function of time with the drawing of patient in 3D. And the second one is the neurocom computer encephalograph with the 16 lines of channels. Which was chosen for study of gas signals from brain. Installed hardware and software platform of manufacturing provides encephalogram and their transmission for a personal computer, and post-processing take place in this PC. So in this slide you can see two types of spiral drawn with patient in this tablet. One is without a tremor, no mistakes, and the second one is a lot of different mistakes in the different position, which means a different type of tremor. So we try to identify this type of tremor with signals. The information which gives us this model which are analyzed with abnormal neurological movement, NMA, built in the basis of the concept of propagation of wave signal determines and segment by segment description of the element of NMA trajectory, amplitude characteristics, and residual fluctuation of frequency. Gas signals shown on this slide. We use one of these 16 channels, which represent for us considering of such cognitive neurofeedback effects of the signals obtained from a digital set of indicators of these gas signals, which synchronously with the movement of the electronic pen in the patient limbs come from the Carson set of cerebral cortex neural nodes. Tremor object of neural nodes indication systems. Model description of order to represent the mathematical solution of the form of implementing the procedure of functional identification of amplitude components and the phase velocity of NMA wave propagation as a function of time in framework of the model decomposition, taking into account a condition that the trace obtaining data from the digital data gives us signals with a shift in time for a patient signals of limb. So we get different influences of the signals from brain to signals of draw test with a tablet. The hybrid model analysis of NMA built in the basis of the concept of matrix cognitive feedback and group of neural nodes of moment segments. The hybrid model provides quantitative amplitude and frequency characteristics of NMA, schematization and visualization of influences of vector and connections component to the cognitive feedback influences of these signals of EEG neural nodes for individual elements of NMA trace with a framework of hybrid models of analysis. You can see on this slide the spiral type of NMA trace created by the patient on interactive tablet. It gives out the setup of identification model. We use a fragment of this trace made by patient. We collect fragment from the trace in this spiral example of the last test pattern. It means Archimedal spiral by the patient with electronic pen on a digital tablet in number of discretized 2400 points. This is position of the track in the present figure. Here is abscissa k is the number of position of deviation of pen from equilibrium during the passage of this spiral sample. Setting up the model NMA track of their step-by-step and segment-by-segment identification, amplitude and frequency parameters for each segment, taking into account integrity of the signals of the systems to specify symbols of a trace performed by patient. Observation curve of experimental curve was performed according to a feedback scheme and the analytic solution of the hybrid NML model tracks. So this is the feedback hybrid models of abnormal neurological movement track. As you can see, the EEG, it means the signals from encephalograms, matrix of influences and coefficients, and we obtain essential tremor graphs, which gives us a position and influence function of the signals to movement of patient. As can be seen from the present graphs, the developed model reproduces the patient behavior at a high level, displaying the NMA track that particularly coincides with the one drawn by him on tablet. The most important thing is that the model includes the possibility of displaying the mechanism of its feedback effects on cerebral signals in the form of matrix of EEG signals that determine the behavior of those moments. Further research may include a change in this behavior, apparently for a better, depending on the change in the magnitude of those EEG feedback effects after carrying a therapeutic procedure, and explain the limits of application. So to conclude, we proposed a high-performance information technology for NMA research built on the basic of hybrid model analytics and narrow system signals, which describes the state and behavior of 3D element of NMA trajectory of tremor object. The proposed hybrid model provides deep decomposition of the system without affecting its integrity and connections, which is not possible for classical methods of signal processing that lead at loss of 60 to 80% of information about the real condition of the object. You can see conclusions. Thank you for your attention.